For those engaged in practical occultism, that is, the manipulation of energies for some kind of spiritual or material result, egregores are often nothing new, but rarely understood, as too often they are given the status of a priori goodness. Many groups speak in veiled but confident and positive terms about their leader or group, and by extension its members being connected to a powerful egregore or inner contact, or some similar term. When examined in the light of this monograph and more traditional ideas associated with egregores, these students can reevaluate their connection to these invisible forces and decide for themselves if these contacts have been beneficial or detrimental to their personal awakening. What is an egregore? The word egregore is Greek in origin and is derived from egregoros, meaning wakeful or watcher. The word is found in the Book of Enoch, wherein it is described as an angelic being. The Book of Enoch is ascribed to Enoch, the grandfather of Noah, and while non-canonical, it has attracted some theological and historical interest by the major Jewish and Christian denominations, for a section of it known as the Book of the Watchers. This section is thought to have been written around 300 BCE. The only extant versions that exist is in the South Semitic language of Ge'ez, originally around the Horn of Africa. While the original text may have been in Hebrew or Aramaic, no complete early text in either language survives. The main theme of this book, held in common by many mystics, practitioners of the occult, and even Christian fundamentalists, concern 200 fallen angels, their interbreeding with human women, the subsequent creation of a race of giants, or Nephilim, whose destruction in the biblical flood receives mention in Genesis, and a coming apocalyptic battle between good and evil. A mention of the Nephilim from the Book of Enoch is as follows. And they became pregnant, and they bare a great giant, whose height was 300 ells, who consumed all the acquisitions of men, and when men could no longer sustain them, the giants turned against them and devoured mankind. And they began to sin against birds and beasts and reptiles and fish, and to devour one another's flesh and drink the blood. And Azazel taught men to make swords and knives and shields and breastplates, and made known to them the metals of the earth and the art of working them, and bracelets and ornaments, and the use of antimony, and the beautifying of the eyelids, and all kinds of costly stones and all coloring tinctures. And there arose much godlessness, and they committed fornication, and they were led astray, and became corrupt in all their ways. Semjaza taught enchantments and root-cuttings. Amaros, the resolvement of enchantments. Barakwijal taught astrology. Kokabel, the constellations. Ezekiel, the knowledge of the clouds. Arakiel, the signs of the earth. Shamsiel, the signs of the sun. And Sariel, the course of the moon. And the most commonly used definition is as follows. Occult, autonomous psychic entity composed of and influencing the thoughts of a group of people. However, there is a second definition, an older, more significant and perhaps frightening one. Here, an egregore is more than an autonomous entity composed of and influencing the thoughts of a group of people. It is also the home or conduit for a specific psychic intelligence of a non-human nature connecting the invisible dimensions with the material world in which we live. This, in fact, is the true source of power of the ancient cults and their religious magical practices. Muni Sadhu, a Polish occultist of the French-Russian Martinist lineages, defines an egregore in his seminal work, The Tarot, as a collective entity such as a nation, state, religions and sects, and their adherents, and even minor human organizations. The structure of egregores is similar to that of human beings. They have physical bodies, that is, collectively, all the bodies of those who belong to the particular egregore, and also astral and mental ones, the egregore being the sum total of all these elements. To my knowledge, the only modern scholar of esoteric philosophy who has written about the importance of egregores is Jocelyn Godwin of Colgate University in New York State, who dedicated a chapter aptly titled The Power of the Egregore to it in his book, The Golden Thread. Godwin traces